What's up? CVT Guitar Lesson for Bob, and this is beginner blues rock guitar. I love this style because rock and blues just kind of mold together so well. Thanks for your patience, Bob. I know it took a while, and you ended up getting another one that was an accidental for a student I did half a year ago, and it just happened to be kind of along these same lines. How cool. That actually worked out really good for you. All right, so that's a E major blues progression that we're going to start with. A few techniques. We're in standard tuning, by the way, that are involved. Is going to be some hammering on with chords, pull-offs, vibrato, quarter step bending, real slight, which is common in blues, some sliding with chords, hammer-ons, did I say that? And yeah, that's it. So let's jump in. We're going to break this down. So it's coming out of E major. Here's what you want to do for this. You probably already know your E major chord if you're beginner, intermediate level, but we need 2 A and D. So technically it's like we're doing an E minor, right? You're going to strum A, D, and G strings, so strings 5, 4, and 3, and hammer onto the first fret. It's important that you hammer hard, not necessarily pick hard. That's not going to produce the volume for the hammer. What's the word I'm looking for? How hard you come down on that is what's going to make it. You want your volume clear or you're not going to hear it. So it should sound like this. See, I could do it softly with the strum. This is what's getting the job done. And it's got a da-da, 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 da-da type of rhythm. So you'll see these little lines. I use those for the rests. Open E string followed by 1 G, 3 B. Well, we're almost there already. You don't even have to lift everything else off. Repeat it with open E and 1 and 2 G and B. And then lift that pinky off and go 1 G, open B. So it's really, your melody's like, but in context it's, and then open E to 1 G, 3 B again. It's almost like repeating it over. To the open E, first and second fret, G and B. And then open E and B. That's kind of your first time through. So you're going to check it out. I'll play it up to there, a little slower. Then, little filler here. Open E, pick, and then go third fret, pull off open, second fret D, vibrato rest. Sounds like this. If you can't get the vibrato quite right in there, Bob, don't sweat it. The techniques like that come with time. What's important is trying to get this in rhythm and make sure the clarity's there. And the cool thing with blues is it sounds good at any tempo. As a matter of fact, usually the slower the better. Now, it kind of does a play off of what we just did, but we're going to start with the open E and the 1 G, 3 B. You can set these down or not, but it'll go just like last time to the 1, 2 and the 1 open. And then another little fill, open B to 3 E, and you'll go half or quarter step bend. You can't gauge it. And what I mean by that is guitar is set up in half step increments. So we know it's not, it's half that distance. Just think real slight bend, okay? And then slight rest, open E, third fret B, pick, hammer 4, and then open E. So it's, even if you just practice those 6 notes, that's a subgroup. So is this. So it's a good way to memorize parts in little pieces and then go back and build it and build it and build it, okay? So we have, that second half is, oops. Okay, first fret bar D, G, and B. We're gonna strum them, slide to second fret, short rest, open A, and then go 5D and 5B. And you're going to strum strings 4 through 1. That's, make sure the clarity's there. Make sure you can hear all 4. Repeat that, but the chord goes to 4th and 3rd fret, same 2 strings. So we have, and then repeat again with the actual A chord, open A and then 2 2 2. So it's, and then back to open A, and then the 5 open 5 open, followed by the 4 open 3 open. No rest in between. It goes. So watch, from the A, the slide up to it. The X on the line means break, karate chop it, and then strum the A chord. And then a short fill here. 3rd fret E, quarter bend, open E and B. And then I put repeat. Well, you have double dots. You're going to play 2 times, second time no star. So you'll go. Go past the double dots into this. Open 4 EA, rest, 3 2 on the A, rest, 2 4, slide to 6, rest, 4th fret bar D and G twice, hammer to 6 D, and that's called a double stop. It's a piece of a chord. Careful when you hammer the 6th that you don't mute out this 4th fret G here, which is a B note. So you have. It'll still sound okay if you mute it, but the idea is to hear 2 notes. It's called a double stop for that reason. So after you do the hammer, rest, and then go back to the 4th fret, and then 6 4 A D. So just fuller, right? Because you're hearing those 2 notes. 5 6 5 D G and B. Strum, rest, strum, move it a half step back. That's 1 fret, rest, slide it up a half step sharp. I said all that, and it's just this. That's a good subgroup. And then the ending, I love this. E9 chord on the end. But anyways, open 3 4 on the low E, and then 2A twice. So slide to 7, rest. 7 to 5A 6D, rest, hit that again, and then go 4 7 AD, rest, hit it again, and then go 3 mute 3 ADG. So you just, with one of these fingers, you got to make sure you mute out the D string. I'm only hearing 2 notes, strumming 3. Rest, hit it again, and this is a B7. 2nd fret, 1st fret, 2nd fret, A, D, G. So it's rest, 2 4 A, 1 D, and then 2 D. Rest, rest, rest. And then it ends with what's called an E9 chord. Now this is used in blues, R&B, funk, jazz. And it's a cool chord. If you've never done it, it might be a little tricky, and here's why. When we learn bar chords, we're usually learning to bar with the index finger. With the 9 chord, at least this version of it, we're barring with the 3rd finger. So we need middle 7A, 1st finger 6D, 3rd finger bar the 7th fret, G, B, and E, strings 3 2 1. And when I first learned that years ago, it just felt weird. I could do it, but it felt weird. It took me a while. You have to play it just like you would any other chord. Make sure you hear all 5 strings. All right, and that's the first one. Number 2, this is another E major. We're going to just call this rock blues. It's more of kind of a HENDRIX style thing. It goes. Let's start with that, and then I'll show you the rest. So open E, and then this is called an E7 sharp 9, but all the guitar players call it the HENDRIX chord. From the A string down, 7, 6, 7, 8. Love this chord. If you're a blues player or a blues rock player, you want this chord. So we have open E, strum the chord, rest, do an up strum on that chord and go right into an open A string. And open A, hammer 2, open D. So it's... So when you hit that up strum, you gotta get this hand over here. And then short rest, open A pick, hammer 1, pull open. It's a triplet. And then 3 E. So it's... That's your little fill. And then back to the first groove with the HENDRIX chord. But this time our fill is different. 2G, slide to 4, middle finger. Keep everything down. Go 3B up, 4G down, top of page 3, 4E up, pull off open, and then 3, 4, B and G. So it's... You're going to do all of that twice. One time is... Again, might as well do it. Next part, open A string twice, and then we're going to play an A7 chord. 2nd fret G and B barred, 3rd fret high E. Go down, down, down. Rest, hit it again on an upstroke, and then 2 open A's again. Those 2 open A's are repeating this beat of down, 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 up. Different forms of this A7. 5, 6, 5, G, G, B. Open A again twice to 9, 8, 9, G, B, E. Okay, and then our next form, 2 open A's to 12, 10, 12, G, B, E. Vibrato. So it's... Oops. If you can't get the vibrato on the chord, don't sweat it. It'll come with time. Repeat from the beginning with no star. Yeah. And you're, yeah. I'm lost. Hold on. Repeat from the beginning, no star. Then, one time on that, by the way. Don't do it twice like before. And then 7th fret, middle finger, low E twice. That's a Stevie Ray Vaughan chord. Middle 7E, 3rd finger 7D, index 6G, pinky 7B. You gotta mute the A string. You're gonna go 6, 6, strum all 5. Strum, rest, up, and do it twice. So it's like kind of like Foxy Lady, kind of the feel of that. And then we're gonna go 7, 6, 8, D, G, and B, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So from this one, it's... And then Stevie Ray Vaughan did this a lot. It's like a rake upstroke leading into the 12th fret low E. In between a strum and a single pick, or like almost like a sweep pick thing. This is the feel. Typically sounds better with less gain, but... that type of vibe. But if that's too crazy, just slide it down. And then the outro for this is just an E7 chord. Open 2, 2, 1, 3, open. And that's huge in blues, so. Alright, a little bit of solo stuff I wanted to work with you on. A minor pentatonic scale, pattern 1 and 2. And what you want to do with this is, I'll kind of play it slow first. Let's see. So, I call it a 6 pattern. 5E pick, hammer 8, and then alternate pick 5, 7, A, and D. So that's 6 notes. Repeat it, but start on the A string and do all 5 7s. Repeat it, do 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, D, G, and B. Repeat it on the last 3 strings, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. So up to there slowly, it's... When you get to that 8th fret, slide it a whole step up to 10, and that's going to get you into pattern 2, A minor pentatonic. Once you get there, pull off to 8, and then go 10, 8. Now this is alternate pick. It's like the reverse of what we were doing. 10, 8, B, 9, 7, G. 10, 8, B, pick, pull. You can use whatever fingers on this. Pinky in middle or 3rd and 1st. 10, pull 8, 9, 7, G, 10, 7, D. So that one's 9, 7, pull on the G, and then 10, 7, D and A. 10, 7, pull on the D, 10, 7, A, 10, 8, E, slide to 5. Sounds like this. So that second half is from the slide up. Oops. Eric Johnson does a lot of that stuff with the pentatonics. But that way I figured you got a couple really cool rhythm ones going on with some fillers, and then now we're hitting some solo stuff. There's 5 minor pentatonic shapes, okay? They're different patterns. And as a matter of fact, it might be in that lesson I accidentally sent you. If not, look up the 5 minor pentatonic scales, Bob, and get familiar with all of them. Most people stop after the first one, or they might do the 6-note one that has the flat 5 in it. But there's 4 other patterns, and you can access the whole neck once you have those. All right, moving on to number 4. This is the pentatonic exercise, A minor, once again, pattern 1. This is, I figured, more for like an exercise. Going down, up, 5, 8, E, 5, A, 7, D. And we're going to do that concept following that whole shape. 5, 7, A, and then 5, 7, D, G. So up to there it's... And then 5, 7, D, 5, G, 8, B, 5, 7, G, 5, B, 8, E. And that's all that one is. So we have... And you could stay on one and just practice it for the sake of practice. Good little exercise for alternate picking and just a different shape going on there. Okay, so that's it for page 3. I think. Yes. Okay, so last page, page 4, number 5. This is just kind of a laid back kind of a rhythm progression with some chords that hopefully these will be new chords for you. First chord is the Stairway to Heaven, A minor. Bar the 5th fret, E, B, and G. Go 7, D with your 3rd finger. Strum strings 5 through 1. Now I would cut the gain back a little bit here. Let's see. Let it ring as you play 2 open A's, and then go 7, 6, 5, D, open A. Let me play it up the whole thing actually. Repeat it. So we played up to here. 4D and bar the 5th fret on the last 3 strings with your 3rd finger. Open A 3 times. Take your root, move it to the 3rd fret, keep the 5 where it's at. Strum, open A 3 times. And then 3D, 2G, 3B, open E. Pick in that order, and it's a hold. You don't want to go. You can, but for this rhythm, keep it down, let the notes ring together. And then go 2, 1, 3, open. Just take these 2, move them back 1 fret, the middle and index. Strum, 2 open D, 3, 2 A. And that can loop right back and start it over. Right? Or you can just hit open A or that A minor. Okay, so we got 2 kind of more drive and rock, groove, HENDRIX-y riffs. We got our solo ones, and then this kind of laid back, almost jazzy with its chords. And number 6, A minor lick using all 5 minor pentatonic scales. It's not using all the notes of those 5 minor pentatonic scales, but this is a fun way to learn, because when you are playing a solo, whether it's a minor pentatonic or whatever it is, most of the time it's not played mechanically. People are playing around with the notes, right? That's the beauty of it. So I'm taking like 4 notes out of pattern 5, and then I'll slide into pattern 1 and play 4 notes and slide into pattern 2. So here's what I mean by this. Let's see. Let's see. Dang it. So slow, it's 5E or 3E, pick, hammer 5, 3-5A, I like to down up on that. Slide to 7, pull off to 5, that's a subgroup. And then 8-5E, so 1E and a 2E and a, we're going to take that concept, apply it to, because this is pattern 1, or pattern 5, my bad. That's where I got those first notes from, and it slid into pattern 1. So 5 to pattern 1. We went into that one. Now we're going to go 5 hammer 8, 5 7A, and probably go pinky on 7A. Slide to 10, pull off to 7, and then go 10-8 on the low E. So that's why I'm saying pinky here, because if you don't, you just got to stretch further, okay? Which I did when I first played this a second ago, but just to adjust, you know, mess around with the fingering. 8 hammer 10E, 7 10A. Slide to 12, pull 10, 12 10 low E. So it's 10 hammer 12, 10 12A. Slide to 15, pull off to 12, 15, 12E. So we have, may want to go pinky on that too, because of the stretch there. 12 hammer 15, 12 15A, slide to 17, pull 15, 17 15E, 15, slide to 17. Now, that was the pattern 5 again. So we ran through pattern 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, ended on 5. Covered the whole neck, and that's the cool thing I want you to get out of this. You know, play them ascending, descending, all of that. So anyways, Bob, appreciate you, man. Hope you have fun with this. I did, and we'll talk soon, man.